Hello Year 1. Do you recognise the character on the front cover of this story? It is Humpty Dumpty. Do you know the rhyme that goes along with Humpty Dumpty? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. It's not the nicest of rhymes, to be honest, and it's quite a tragic thing that happened to Humpty Dumpty in the sense that he was sort of just left at the bottom of the wall. But this is the story of what happens after Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall and all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put him together again. So it's called After the Fall. I hope you like it. And if you look really closely, that's the clue as to what happens at the end of the story. My name is Humpty Dumpty. Okay, you can see by the binoculars he's obviously fallen off the wall. This was my favourite spot, high up on the wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I love being close to the birds. Then one day I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. So he obviously climbed up the ladder. This was his favourite spot, but then he fell. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together again. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favourite things. So I wonder which one of these cereals was his actual favourite, but he just doesn't want to go up and get it. I walked past the wall every day and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. Can you see him with his binoculars? It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. And then one day, an idea flew by. So what does that look like, Year 1? Like a paper aeroplane. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches, but day after day I kept trying and trying. So Humpty Dumpty is persevering and he's also becoming resilient because he's not giving up. Until I got it just right. Look at his bird. Isn't that amazing? My plane was perfect and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. Oh my goodness me, Year 1, what do you think might have happened? They always do. He remembers the wall again. And what happened? I almost walked away again, but then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it, but I was terrified. I think he's actually being quite brave, Johan, isn't he? Finally facing his fear. I didn't look up, I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time. So he's going for the next bar on the ladder. Until I was no longer afraid. Look, he's finally reached the top. I think we should give him a round of applause for that. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Hopefully you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. Now Johan, look really carefully what's happening to Humpty. His egg is cracking, the shell's cracking. What's come out of the eggshell? And how Humpty Dumpty learned how to fly. Look, the egg cracked and he turned into a bird. And look, there he is, soaring through the sky above the fences and the wall.